Come on.
Here we go. We're live. This Wanda's dragging up here at the rear.
Hey guys.
Hello everybody. This is Danny.
And Wanda now.
From Deep South Homestead. We are
pushing it
today. Yes.
Hey Papa Truck and Becky, Deborah. Yeah, I'm still fiddling and doing stuff, and ran in there last minute doing a few things in the kitchen. He's going, okay, it's 8 o'clock, and I'm like,
it's 8 o'clock. You better be coming on here.
So I was trying. Hey Lou and
gosh,
just Lou and Michelle and Homestead with the.
It's too fast. I can't see them now. They have gone too fast.
Glenn, Orphan Lady, Denise, Dolly, Mary Beth, Lake Effect, Mama Tribe, Blue Ridge Prepper, Buckeye Girl, Rebecca, Sherry. Glad I could make it. Sherry is the one.
I'm glad she can make it too. Huh?
Sherry's the one with the t-shirts.
Okay. Garden like your life depends on.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm not all here yet. If you guys want one of those t-shirts, they're going to be this is an email in our descriptions.
There's Amanda. She did make it.
Everybody that's looking for a link for the t-shirts, it's not a link. It is an email.
Oh, wow.
And the email, you have to send her a message, tell her what size shirt, and you pay through PayPal. This is actually, we're helping another homestead with this, and she's helping us. So, guys, if you want a t-shirt, you're not paying a company, you're paying a person.
Yep.
This is an individual. It's not a link you click and pay and do. You're going to have to talk to a person, okay? So, if y'all want one of those t-shirts, please order. We're talking to her about caps because we have people who want a cap. And she's supposed to check into that and let me know what it's going to cost us. And then if you wear one of those t-shirts to the gathering, which is March the 9th here in Wiggins, Mississippi, there is going to be a drawing. Everybody that comes in the door that has that shirt on, their name will go into a drawing for something special.
Okay.
We'll see.
I find out as much as y'all do most of the time.
I just had to say that because I saw Sherry popped in, so I wanted to get that.
She makes all these rules, and I just jump in there and just do it.
Hey, Sinclair.
Yeah.
And Colby Joe.
Colby Joe. Chihuahua, and I made it.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the email, Deep South Homestead? Amanda says.
Claygirl. Sherry, can you put the first part up? I think it's claygirl. I forgot at gmail.com. It's in our descriptions of our videos, Amanda. I'm not sure if it's in the live stream till afterward. I may have to put it in the live streams, but it's in the other videos. How much are the shirts? Email Sherry, because the bigger the size shirt, the more it costs because of material, I guess. Don't ask me. Anyway, they're charging her more for the shirts the bigger they are. So it's according to the size shirt. Kids, adults, small, medium, large, and extra large, I think, are one price. And then it goes up $1 or $2 per shirt. So
Grizz said, who let the cats out? Who let the cats out? Who? Oh, there we go. Here we go.
Okay, it's Clay Girl. Can you fix that?
I'm trying. I'm trying to get to it as fast as I can. Hold on.
It didn't show it.
Well, why didn't it show it?
Well, because you didn't hit it at the right spot.
There we go.
Okay, it is Claygirl at CenturyLink.net. And she has put the prices on the gathering page on Facebook, in its Deep South Homestead Gathering Place. If you'll let me know, head over there. Okay.
Sounds like a winner to me.
Okay, I didn't mean to get off. We were going to talk about prepping, but I just saw that, and that just had to.
Shirts are necessary for prepping. They're a part of clothing. So I wouldn't say anything. You know, people got to wear clothes.
Yeah, clothes is part of prepping.
That's part of prepping.
Shoes. Yep. Shoes is really hard.
I'm going to tell you, to be honest with you, when it comes to prepping, shoes is the one thing that most people fail to think about because shoes nowadays are throwaway shoes.
Yes.
And unless you spend the really big bucks for several $100s for a pair of shoes, most of them are throwaway shoes. And it's a really good idea to keep 2 or 3 pairs of them because if an LCE happens, you're not going to buy shoes, and when they wear out, you're not going to get any more.
Because most people don't know how to make them.
But let me tell you what's going to happen. Let me throw a little scenario here, actually. I don't mean to sound gross, but in an LCE or and we're going to talk about this on Patreon, on an EMP and all that kind of stuff.
And a little bit on porch time.
A little bit on porch time. People will wear dead people's shoes. They've done it throughout history. When you go back and you study history, and you've seen where people were massacred and slaughtered and stuff like that, people around, the first thing they done was got their shoes off of them. Because in the wintertime, you ain't got no shoes on, your feet gonna freeze. You're gonna get frostbite, you're gonna lose toes, you ain't gonna be able to walk like you need to and all, run and stuff.
And people wore shoes that did not fit them.
Yes, they just packed them full of stuff. If they was too big, you packed them with stuff.
Or if they were too small, you curled your toes up. You wanted shoes. If you didn't have any, it didn't matter if they fit or not.
Yeah, so it's that's one of the prepping things that most people forget about is shoes. Socks, long johns,
clothes in particular.
Yeah, Amanda says you'll be using shoes of the dead, morbid but true. Yes. Yeah. And you know what? The funny thing about it is people go to these secondhand consignment stores and they buy clothes and stuff like that. A lot of those are dead people clothes. I mean,
Yeah, because when somebody dies,
people passes away and the family's got to clean the closets out. They just take this stuff and donate it to these places. And I mean, I'm wearing Wanda's daddy's shoes right now.
True. So I mean, it's a mental thing. Lots of times you'll have to get past.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sherry said that they cut the toes out of some of them if they were too small. They made places where their feet would fit.
Yeah.
I mean, you learn to adapt the shoes to your feet.
Yeah.
But clothing and shoeing is.
That's some of the biggest prepping items that most people, when they think about prepping, they always think about food. Mm-hmm. And the 3 rules of surviving anything, is the number one thing is being able to stay warm because you can only last 3 hours without heat.
So that brings blankets,
yes,
jackets, any type of clothing, especially you guys that live up north. Now, Danny and I freeze when it gets 50 degrees.
Yeah.
If it gets colder than that, we really freeze. But you guys up north need your heavy protective gear. I mean, we don't have it here to buy. We just layer.
Yeah, we layer. I learned that when I worked up north and I hunted up north. Yeah. You put on all the big bundles of clothes you want, but if you don't layer, it ain't gonna do you no good. And you better have the right stuff against your body.
Oklahoma says, "Be right back. I'm headed to get shoes and boots."
Yeah.
Yeah, but when people prep food, they prep all kinds of food. When they prep for gardens, they prep their seeds. But people forget the clothing, the blankets, towels and washcloths.
Towels and washcloth, hygiene products. I mean, stuff like that. I mean, there's just tons of things like that.
All these things they forget.
Did you put the picture on here
of what?
The stuff in yonder?
It is the thumbnail.
Oh, it is the thumbnail.
It's the thumbnail. Today, something came over me after lunch. I don't usually go to town by myself. Maybe once, twice a year do I even go to town by myself. But after lunch, about 2 o'clock, Danny comes in. I go, I just feel the need to go to town.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel it. So I went to town and bought prep stuff. I just walked through looking, whatever I thought that we might be not out of, but need more of.
Yeah.
Is the way I put it.
Yeah.
I bought. So I bought a couple of different things of gloves.
Latex gloves.
Latex gloves.
Or nitrile, whichever one you don't.
We have some. Danny keeps some in the shop. I keep some in the house, and we have some prepped.
I mean, let me say something while you're there. The reason for that is, in an LCE, an EMP, or whatever takes place, there's going to be a lot of carnage. And during a time like that, there's not going to be any doctors available. you're going to want to put stuff on your hands because you don't want to get an infection from anything. So if you have to deal with an ill person, or if you have to skin or butcher an animal or something like that, you're going to want to have those gloves because you don't want to get a nick and get an infection because you're not going to a doctor.
Yeah. Ronnie, I don't know how you say your last name, just bought property in Carrier, Mississippi. Yes, that's
Oh, Carrier.
less than an hour.
It's about 45 minutes from us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope to meet you sometime. Think about coming to the March gathering.
Yeah.
So Country Homestead Preachers asking about the Berkey water system.
Very good system. You can actually build your own Berkey system. There's got YouTubes on that. It's a lot cheaper to do that. You just buy the filters and get the stainless steel pots and drill the holes in them and put them in them. And you can do that, or you can use 5-gallon buckets that are food grade buckets. But the Berkey systems are fantastic for purifying water.
Yeah. So gloves is one thing. How about alcohol, peroxide?
Debbie named off of just what we just got through doing.
Alcohol and peroxide were two things that I did pick up more of. Witch hazel.
Mm-hmm.
What else did I'm trying to run through my mind.
We got Band-Aids, we got gauze, we got
but
cotton balls.
Yeah, cotton balls and the little flat, like most women use them to take off makeup, the little round cotton flats. I don't know, cotton rounds. I don't know what they call them. You never know when you need something like that, and it's not to take off makeup. You may need it for wound care or something, so I put that in there.
Clarence Newsom. The gathering is in Stone County, Mississippi, in Wiggins, at the Stone County Fairgrounds, March the 9th this year, right?
March the 9th.
March the 9th this year, starting around 9 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, 9.
Okay.
Let's see, what else did I get? I'm trying to think. You helped me put it all up. Oh, I keep a supply of laundry detergent. I make my own.
Oh yeah, we make our own. Yeah,
so
you make your own.
I always have enough for like 6 months. But I was down to what I had made is like 6 months, and I had enough for another couple of months put up to make. So I bought another supply of stuff to make more soap. So I have approximately maybe close to a year's supply of my soap for laundry detergent. Then I bought dishwashing liquid. I'm slowly trying to build a huge stash of dishwashing liquid because this is stuff that I know if we're in the LCE, I don't have time to think, how can I make soaps? How am I going to be able to do that? I need to already have it in place until we can get leveled out. The first 3 to 6 months is critical.
Yeah, the first 3 to 6 months is going to determine who's left and who's not left.
And if you have to sit in and figure, okay, I've got to find ashes, I've got to figure out how to do this, I've got to make my soap. All that knowledge is good.
It's gone if you don't have internet and you don't have books.
Yeah, you better prep books. But even though you know how to make it from ashes and you know how to make soap, it is a process if you've never done it. You can read that book all day long for 10 years. If you've never done it, it's going to be even harder on you. So my thing is learn how to do whatever you want to do now.
But guys, prepping, one of the things about prepping, everybody thinks that there's a general standard for prepping. Prepping changes based on your location.
Yes.
No two people will prep the same because no two people's circumstances are the same. You may have larger families. You may be by yourself. You may be in city. You may be out in the country. Your prepping will be completely different if you live next to a Gulf Coast, if you live on a mountaintop, if you live in a desert valley. No matter where you live, your prepping will be different from everyone else.
And I see a lot of people are asking for different things like my soap recipe and different things like that. And we're not going to kind of get into that tonight, but I do have videos on that kind of stuff. And we're trying to stay kind of generic tonight on some things.
Because it'll get into my Patreon videos if we're not careful.
Yeah, and it'll get into some of our other videos that are coming up.
Yeah.
We're trying to stay on just what we prep, more or less. And
now, some things you want to think about. Guys, if you have a toothache, and this is something that happens very common, and there's nothing that's any more painful than
Oh,
a
it is
toothache,
debilitating.
is clove oil. And that's another thing we want to talk about is the essential oils.
Yes.
Lots of people brush these things off as just being folklore or snake oil or whatever you want to call it. doTERRA has some of the best oils out there on the market. Now, I know there's lots of other people who sell lots of other oils. You go to Walmart and get them. You can order them off of Amazon, but you will not find this guy right here putting one of those oils in his body or on his body.
Or in his mouth.
Or in my mouth. doTERRA is the one only company that has a third party that does testing to guarantee that these oils come from the purest form of anything out there. And these oils are amazing.
Yeah.
I've used several of them. Wanda's used them on me. Wanda's family has used a lot of them.
Yes.
With amazing results. But something like a toothache, you can put one drop of clove oil on a tooth that's hurting like crazy, and the pain goes away almost instantly. If you've got an upset stomach and it's just about to drive you up the wall, everybody goes, oh, well, you need to take some baking soda, you need to do this or that. But guys, peppermint is one of the best things in the world for an upset stomach. I mean, you can down the peppermint. And doTERRA has what's called an essential family.
No.
Essential home. What is it?
Home Essentials
Home
Kit.
Essentials Kit. Okay, I'm going to get it right here in a minute. I've only got about 1,000 things on my mind.
It has 10 of the top oils.
10 of the top oils that you need to survive an LCE or an EMP or whatever. They last
years.
They last forever.
Not forever, but years and years. Probably as long as.
Debbie said I used clove oil the other day and set my mouth on fire. You probably use too much.
All it takes is.
You really don't even need a drop.
No, you just get your finger damp.
Just dampen your finger a little bit and just kind of touch your gum or your tooth right
and
there.
And it will probably numb your whole mouth.
It'll numb.
It's pretty good. I've used it on my kids when they were teething and stuff. I've been using clove oil since, gosh, the 80s, probably since the 80s.
Yeah.
It's one of the best things that I know of. And we have gotten to where I am storing all different kinds of oils for all different things. And so the Home Essentials Kit is the one that if you had it, with those 10 oils, you can handle most minor instances.
Any kind of medical
instances,
yeah.
That you would need. That's the deal.
They get you through a crisis. Let me put you that way. It would get you through a crisis.
You don't have to have every oil available.
I mean, you can go see it. You can see Amanda about all this. I mean,
she's got a Facebook.
She's got a Facebook group that you can go to, and literally they talk about all this stuff on there. They show it all. If you need to order something, Amanda can set you up with whoever needs to be set up with. I mean,
and I have a link in the
Wanda
description.
Has a link in the description.
What you want.
Yes, I mean, and I'm telling you guys, when it comes to prepping. Some of the oils may sound like they're a little bit expensive, but you're only using
just a drop,
one drop of a lot of them, and there's lots of drops in one of these bottles, and them things will stretch out and use. You use a lot of different times on one of the little bottles.
Papa Truck is asking, is there a discount code? No, with doTERRA, you can sign up. And if you order a kit, some of the kits, your year membership is free. Yeah. But if you don't want to order a kit and you can't afford to do that and you want to just order the oils you want, you can sign up. It's like Sam's Club. You get 25% off your every order for a year, and it's $35 for the year.
That's if you become a what?
Wholesale customer.
A wholesale customer.
Don't
let that fool you into thinking that you have to sell anything, because you don't. It just gives you the wholesale discount when you sign up that way.
Yeah, that's all it is. Amanda is putting up the group on Facebook, and then we have another oil study coming up.
Yes.
For people. It doesn't cost you anything. Amanda and I just want to help people know how to use oils. And so we're going to have that study coming up. I'm not sure, Amanda, is it too late for people to get into this study? If not, we have one coming up in February.
Well, the other thing that's really important is anybody that lives in an hour and a half radius.
Yeah.
Wanda of Wiggins, Mississippi. Wanda and Amanda and your assistant Daisha is going to be having some classes, and what the end of January.
End of January, 1st
of February. And if you're interested in attending one of these classes, or if you're interested in having a class at your house, and you can get 5 or more people to come together to come to your house, they will schedule a class at your house and come teach about the oils at your place, or you can come here to Wiggins to a meeting place that they have here, and you can go through the classes here, whichever one you want.
Our meeting in Wiggins will be come and go.
Yeah.
And it will be February 2nd, I believe. And we will be starting posting some things on that so people can come by and meet Daisha and Amanda and me. And you can make some roller balls, and it's going to be one of these teaching things where you figure out how to use essential oils. So that's enough about that. I didn't mean to get way off on that. But yeah, with the oils, guys, if you need them, you need to have them in your library. Baby aspirins.
Oh, yes. One of the things we prepped about
last week we went.
Last week when we bought a lot of our prepping items, because I feel like 2019 is going to be a really crucial year. Some things could happen this year. We went ahead and we bought the low milligram baby aspirins, because if someone is having a heart issue, you can cram 2 or 3 of them things down their throat and tell them to chew them up, get the chewable kind. And guys, you could save someone's life literally if you thin their blood down right quick. And if you got small children with fevers or anything like that, I mean, they're good for that. Mm-hmm. They're not hard on the stomach because they're low dose. I mean, and that's one of the things that we are actually stocking up on is some baby aspirins. And we also, there's so many things. I mean, it just, for me to sit here and tell you everything, there's no possible way.
No, but one thing was I bought more toilet paper. Okay.
Yes.
Toilet paper is something that this one right here spazzed over 3 years ago. If I thought something was going to happen, I would go ballistic thinking I'm never going to have enough toilet paper. And the first year we were on YouTube, every time somebody said, what is the one thing you want to prep? I would say toilet paper every time. Now that goes out the window. I don't even worry about toilet paper, because I had a lady send me that first year. Mm-hmm. She sent me, I think, 30 family cloths, and they're made out of flannel. It's been 3 years, guys. I still have those 30 cloths. I use them every day. I've washed them, dried them, folded them, used them. They still look just like they did 3 years ago. They're really good. I only use them for the wet stuff. I don't use them for the poo. That's where the toilet paper comes in.
Right.
But the toilet paper is down to a very minimum. Where I was using probably a roll a day, I don't use a roll a week or week and a half or more. So it is saving big time.
Okay. Tamara says, I need natural antibiotics.
Garlic
is probably one of the best natural antibiotics. Onions. I mean, there's so many.
Manuka honey.
Yeah, the Manuka honey. You should stock up on Manuka honey. I know it's probably not going to be sustainable if an LCE happens, but if you have a bunch of it stored up.
Regular honey.
Regular honey is a good antibiotic, just not for children, young children.
Babies mainly.
Babies mainly.
Yeah.
But things like that are great natural antibiotics.
Grizz has pine cones. He don't need toilet paper. It's going to be a little rough.
It's going to be a little rough. Yeah, it's going to be a little rough.
Yeah. So the family cloths, if you don't, I mean, you can store toilet paper.
There's Naked Hog right there.
Yeah, I saw they popped in.
Yeah, we was just watching some of your videos just a few minutes ago.
We
and actually sent them a message about land, and we sent them we sent them my daughter's. She's a realtor. We sent her number to them.
Yes, they're in Louisiana.
Oh, Amanda says it's cookie time. Amanda, I ate my cookie before we came on, but you know what? I am sitting here eating. I don't think I get up to the camera. I'm eating pecans from The one and the only Jennifer and Donnie and
Country
Annabeth
Homestead.
Mellon from Country Homestead Preacher.
Okay, somebody's asked about colloidal silver. I make my own colloidal silver.
Yes.
But if you do not have a colloidal silver machine or a way to make it, yes, I would say buy it up because that is one of the best antibiotics there is. Not a lot of people know too much about it, but check it out. Colloidal silver is fantastic. Also, watch where and how you buy it.
Yes.
You can buy 5 and 10 parts per million colloidal silver, and it's like drinking water. It's not going to do you a whole lot of good. You need the good stuff. So make sure you do your homework on colloidal silver. Somebody says, don't forget birth control.
But that's a very
that's a good thing.
That's a good thought.
There's not going to be any doctors delivering babies.
Nope, they ain't gonna be.
You're gonna need midwives.
You'd have to have midwives, and contraceptives are just not going to be available. So you need to practice. You need to know your cycles. You need to know what goes on.
Yeah. And Jan is saying the myrrh, the golden seal, the frankincense, tea tree are all good natural antibiotics and antifungals. Almost most of your oils have some sort of antifungal or antibacterial, especially when combined with another oil. So the oils are perfect. On Guard is like the best I've seen.
Yeah. Deborah's saying you need to have a stash of alcohol and tobacco to use as a barter too. Now that's one thing. A lot of people, guys. I got to figure out how to say this
without hurting feelings.
Well, without making someone mad.
That's then again, I said.
You gonna learn about me one thing. I
Just
really
make
don't.
Them mad.
I really don't care. But I mean,
we're not trying to hurt people's feelings.
I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm not trying to make anybody mad. But some people are so heavenly minded that they're no earthly good. Sometimes you're gonna have to go into an alcohol store, and you're gonna have to get something like you need some whiskey, you need some rum, you need some vodka. You need these kind of things to keep in your shelves at home because you can make tinctures out of the vodka.
Mm-hmm.
The rum can be used like you put that with vanilla beans or something though to make vanilla extract. I mean, there is so many things.
You can use it in wounds.
You can use it in wound care. Whiskey can be used with wound care, stuff like that.
It can calm people down.
It can calm you down. So that and people say, well, that's against the Bible. The Bible says you're supposed to abstain from strong drinks. Well, you need to finish reading what the Bible says, because it also says that strong drinks are for those that are for heavy hearts and those that are fixing to pass away. So don't just pull one verse out of the Bible. Take the whole Bible and use it. Everything in moderation is basically what it's about. I mean, use what you need for the right situation. The Bible covers all that.
Yeah.
But there's and tobacco. Tobacco is one of the best wormers you can get for animals. If you have animals on your farm, you need to raise some tobacco and keep it for worming your animals. It'll also worm you. It'll also, if you have bee bites, you can put some tobacco juice on a bee bite. My daddy used to do it with me all the time. Make that thing stop hurting. Toothpaste will make a bee bite stop hurting also. I mean, there's lots of things out there, guys. I mean, this is not the survival class right now, but
vodka and vanilla beans. I think I used. I can't remember what I used. It wasn't vodka.
It wasn't vodka. You used something else.
It might have been rum.
I think Wanda used rum, but you can use vodka.
Yeah.
Because vodka is used in a lot of tinctures.
Yeah. Brandy, honey, and lemon for chest colds. I mean,
yes.
there's all
we also add peppermint to ours. I'll add peppermint, and sometimes I'll add a baby aspirin to it to just kind of help calm everything down and just mix it all up and then drink a little bit on a cup hot, and it works perfect.
Yeah. That's where hot toddy come in.
Well, Yokohama says plant birch trees. The bark will make for lanterns. You can do that if you live in an area where birch trees can be planted. They can't grow here.
And that's where he's talking about. You have to do things for your area.
Your area is. Now, where we're at, willow trees grow everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually make an aspirin tincture out of willow bark.
Yeah.
I mean, willow also has a hormone in it for starting plants as a hormone. So there's lots of things.
Okay.
Alma says, I'm allergic to aspirin also. I would like to know what would be good to use. Oh.
Can you take ibuprofens
Yeah,
and
a
stuff?
type of ibuprofen, if you could stock up on that.
Stock
Motrins.
up. That's where you have to do this individual thing.
Yeah.
If you're allergic to one thing, you see what it is that you can use, and then you stock up on that. According to what kind of aches and pains that you're taking an aspirin for, if it's a headache, some of the oils like lavender and peppermint mixed together in a roller ball with fractionated coconut oil, you can roll your temples. That will take away a headache. Sometimes one of our friends uses basil to take away the headache. So you don't need aspirin if you have some of the oils that help. So it's according to why you're taking an aspirin too. You can find other ways to.
I noticed Brad put up in here. I've seen it twice already. I just haven't got to it because we're always talking. But you know, honey is one of the best wound cares that you can get. A lot of your hospitals now, and your major burn universities and places like that, use a lot of honey because sugar causes the cells in the body to rapidly increase and grow. They put honey under compacts, presses on them, and stuff like that because it's a natural antibiotic and it causes the wound to heal extremely fast from the inside out. So, you know, honey is a good wound care. D says ibuprofen has aspirin in it. Okay. Debbie says turpentine heals wounds. Turpentine has many uses. I had a dog one time that had kidney worms, and an old elderly black man told me, says if I put 3 drops of turpentine over that dog's kidneys, it would kill the worms and that dog would be fine. I did it, and my dog was healed. I have no, I mean, it was just an old remedy and it worked. That's all I could say.
Janet says wild lettuce is one of the best painkillers in nature. I agree.
Yes.
Wild lettuce.
Yes.
If you find somebody in your area that can point out what wild lettuce looks like, because in different areas, wild lettuce takes on, just like any other weed, takes on a little bit of a different tendency.
Yeah.
We are trying really hard to figure out what's here around us that we can use for whatever we need to get.
The Lori family is.
Okay. We're trying to get all our weeds identified. We have lots and lots of weeds here that we don't even know what they are, because I've had people here and they don't even know because they are different from their areas.
Yes. Let's see here. Where are we at? Turpentine and Vaseline for hemorrhoids, Georgia Garden Girl says. Also, you can add wood ash out of your fireplace to that mixture, and it will actually help to shrink them extremely fast. Let's see here.
I'm just reading.
Crystal says, I stood here dumbfounded that there was many varieties of alcohol. There's tons of varieties of alcohol.
Yeah, you get lost when you go in a store.
Yeah.
You got to know what you want, go get it, and don't even look around. Just
yeah.
Tell them what you want. Most people that are not familiar with liquor stores or alcohol stores, whatever you want to call them, they research online, know what they want before they go in. They go to the counter, tell them what they want. That way you don't get lost. You just in and out.
Yeah, Grandma Rose talking about the toothache plant. Now that's one of the best herbs you can get for a toothache. You can just take that thing and just rub the inside your gum with it. That little bloom thing, a little round.
Talking about the rose cell?
No, the toothache plant.
Actual toothache.
The actual toothache plant makes a little funny looking little thing on the end of it there, and you can mash that thing and then rub it around the inside your gum. Your whole mouth will go numb. I mean, it's amazing. I've used them before. Matter of fact, I have the seeds here somewhere, I think. In our stash to have in case something happens.
Lori family, send to family a message. An email.
Yeah, an email if you would. Let's see here.
Listerine. That's another thing I bought.
Oh, Listerine.
Yep. I buy up that when I can go into town. It has quite a few different properties in it that can be used for more than just a mouthwash.
Witch hazel. We just bought witch hazel too. Works for hemorrhoids. Yes.
What am I chomping on? a trail mix with a lot of raisins in it.
Yeah. We just have to snack throughout this whole thing.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Learn how to make homemade apple cider vinegar.
That would be good. Yeah. We don't have a video on that one.
We have apples, but with ours as tangy as they are, would they do for apple cider vinegar? I guess we may.
Our apples are pretty tart. They're the green ones. They're pretty tart.
Yeah.
Beth Mitchell said they stocked up on little whiskey bottles and chewing tobacco for bartering. Yeah.
That's going to be the thing, because people that smoke and
people that smoke and drink are going to be the first ones that's going to have the DDTs. They're going to go ballistic. They're going to want
something to calm them down, and even until you can help wean them off or anything like that, you might be the one way to help get them through that hard time and off of it.
Yeah, Tahoe says Jesus is a healer. Jesus is the great physician. He can heal anything, but you have a human body, and it's going to take time. It's not going to happen when you wake up tomorrow morning. He'll heal you, but it's going to take a little time.
Virginia's saying she bathes her dog in Listerine to get rid of the bugs. See, that's a really good thing, guys. It's not going to hurt them, and don't overdo it. Don't just pour it on, but put some in the water and bathe them. That would be really good, because the animals is something that most people don't prep for. And that's something that even with the oils can be used on the animals. Whatever you can use for a human, you can use for the animals. There's only a few oils that they say to watch with the animals, and you can get that list online right now.
Yes, Tammy M says, I just prayed this week and asked God what I need to stock up on. She says, this is awesome. Well, God works in mysterious ways.
Brenda,
I have eaten all your honey roasted pecans that you sent me. I have.
He gorged.
I can't help it. I love them, and I just literally, I'm not going to lie, I gorged on them. Yes, I did. And they almost gorged on me.
Honey covered with saran wrap makes a perfect bandage for most wounds.
Yes. I agree with that.
Saran wrap is another one. I agree, you should have saran wrap, aluminum foil, wax paper, all these things you should stock up on, because and not use them like you do now probably every time, because I'm really bad about taking saran wrap and putting it on every bowl and putting it in the fridge. Save it. When those times, have some that you put up, you store, do something with it. That's the best thing to do, but have the saran wrap, aluminum foil, wax paper. There's another one. What's the other one that I'm thinking of? Did I do the cookie? Parchment.
Parchment. Carlar says, and we just stocked up on this also, is eye cleaning solutions and stuff.
Yes.
We just bought some Visines and stuff like that for helping to clean your eyes out.
The next one is like stomach remedies.
Yeah.
If something were to happen, say like falling from the sky type, EMP type stuff, that chemical type, you want something that you want to have your stomach remedies. Lots of people may want to buy Pepto-Bismol, Imodium,
any of your
what is it? Milk of magnesia.
Phillips milk of magnesia.
Any X-Lax, anything.
Yeah, anything like that. If you have problems with constipation,
lots
of times high fiber is not the best thing for constipation, believe it or not.
Yeah. So you want a variety that will either handle the diarrhea or the constipation. You want something for throwing up, for the nausea. All these things that are in the oils, you can get that. But if you're not doing oils, go to town, buy up your nausea medicines, your stuff like that. Baking soda is an excellent thing to have for it. It has hundreds, if not thousands of uses.
Baking soda can be used for lots of things, from settling the stomach acid that you have
to making soap,
to cleaning acid off of a battery. I mean, it doesn't matter. Brushing your teeth.
Epsom salt. That's another one I bought. I bought an 8-pound
she just bought an 8-pound bag today of Epsom salt
to add to our stash.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, in the in Walmart, in the health and beauty aid section, Right now, the 8-pound bag of Epsom salt was $5. If you wait until gardening season, there's no telling what it costs in the gardening section because they think it's costs more because it's in the gardening section.
That was the stuff that Amanda brought here for me that I actually couldn't take from my stomach because it had something in it. But it was digestin.
Yeah, digestin.
Which is also sold by doTERRA. You can
I took it and it's fine. It keeps you regular.
Keeps you regular.
And all.
DMSO.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I have the DMSO in a container. You can buy it at the feed store.
You can buy it at the feed store.
And it's for horses. It's in the section with the horses. Same thing. Just, I mean, if you want to buy a big container of it, it's good for skin and wounds and stuff like that. Just go buy it from the feed store and keep it on.
Well, one of the people in here, ODP, just made a very good comment. The reason you need all this stuff is because when an LCE happens, your eating habits are going to change.
Mm-hmm.
And when your eating habits change, you're going to experience digestive issues.
Yes.
And when you begin to have digestive issues, that's why it's best now to go ahead and start training yourself to eat like you would eat during an LCE. Learn to eat in season. Learn to eat without certain, all these things that people add into their foods. Learn to just cook plain stuff. Learn how to cook what you have in your house at the time that come from your garden that was canned by you, and not bring in any outside seasonings and all this kind of stuff. Learn how to eat what you have for a while. See how your body reacts to it, because that's what Wanda and I do.
Mm-hmm.
Wanda and I do that almost all the time now. And another thing you're going to need to stock up on is going to be salt.
Lots and lots of salt.
We've bought salt by the 50-pound bags because it's not expensive. It's only like $8 for a 50-pound bag of salt. And we've got several hundred pounds of salt stored up because salt is one of those things that you will need for curing meat. You'll need it for seasoning. You'll need it for preserving stuff. There's going to be tons of uses for salt. That's why just buy it. Buy it in bulk. It's not going. Your animals need salt.
Yes.
I mean, you need salt. Hard candy. Store up hard candy. Just don't eat it. You know, I mean, store it up.
That's another thing I bought today. After Christmas, and then after each holiday, all the candy and stuff goes on sale. And of course, today is what the 5th, so it's been 2 weeks since Christmas. When I went in there, there's not a whole lot of Christmas stuff left, but all the peppermint sticks were marked down to 25 cents a box. So I bought 4 boxes of the peppermint sticks and then a box of I forgot, it was the flavored ones. The four for 25 each was the regular peppermint, and then I bought the flavored ones just to have as hard candy in case.
Yeah.
But you save those peppermint sticks because they are really great in your cough medicines and stuff too. For 25 cents a box, you can't beat it. So watch after your sales, like what's coming up, what I tell you, Valentine's
Day,
and different places. When that candy goes on sale, stock it up. The kind of candy that will last. Candy corn. I've got enough candy corn. We ain't gonna run out for years. Like next 50 years.
Georgia Garden Girl said she heard that MSG is under about 10 different names on a channel day. Yes, that is true.
Yes.
If you call a channel and you ask them is MSGs in their product and they tell you no, they're trained, and by law they do not have to say yes if it is not listed as MSG. If it's listed as glutamatic acid or natural flavorings or anything like that, then they do not have to answer you accurately. What can you use to store gasoline long term? They make special gas cans to do that with, so they can vent.
Where do we get our bulk salt?
Where do we get our bulk salt? We got it from a slaughterhouse, actually.
What's the best way to store it?
We keep ours in a very dry location in a plastic tote from Walmart.
Georgia Garden Girl says she uses chocolate to barter after every holiday. Yes, you can store it up as long as it's not somewhere where it'll melt. And sometimes you may want to rotate it out every year because chocolate will turn white. Doesn't mean it's necessarily bad, it does turn.
I know, guys, I have missed so many things because we get to talking and they just roll by, and I can't remember everything that I see. So if I don't say anything, if I miss your comment, please put it back up, and I'll try to catch it next time around.
Nadia said she commented on your last prepping video on one of your porch times. I'm thinking something about Joseph. She said most people do not understand, and they don't. And don't get your feelings hurt.
No. We try to get to everybody, but guys, look, I only have 50-something thousand people that we have to try to get to. Well,
she's saying somebody kind of made fun of her.
No, but don't let that bother you. Don't let that bother you because the world is full of losers. You know what I mean? People who don't get it. They don't get it. And a lot of times when you're storing grains and stuff like Joseph did, everybody goes, well, how did he keep the weevils out? How did he keep the all kinds of earworms, earwigs, and all that kind of stuff out? Bay leaves mixed in with grain.
That's another item. Bay leaves.
You need to store up on bay leaves. I mean, or get you a tree and grow your own bay leaves. But bay leaves is a natural insect deterrent in your grains and your corn meals that you put up because freezers are not going to be available. Get you some bay leaves. Put that stuff in there. Let's see what else. Grandma Rose, yeah, we talked about latex gloves for bloodborne diseases. We've got all that's taken care of.
Susie says she buys the non-GMO veggies and she dehydrates them. I've done that too. I've dehydrated them and then I put them in jars and vacuum seal them. You can put them in Mylar or something if you wanted to, but I vacuum seal mine in jars.
Janet said, alert to all. Smell the inside of white sugar bags when you open it up. Some are contaminated now, and it stinks bad. I haven't experienced that yet, but I have heard about that.
Yeah, I heard about that a couple of weeks ago, too. Dollar Tree sells small packages of puppy pads for $1. That way you don't expose all pads to germs. Great for all kinds of stuff and sick.
They are.
Those big pads,
I use them. I actually use the ones that elderly people get to put on their beds and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I use those like when goats are being born, baby animals are on the, they don't have to lay on the dirt and all that kind of stuff. It really helps with, it keeps them clean. It's also good to have on beds if you have a person that's incontinent or something like that. It's always good to keep that stuff around. We just keep lots of things, guys.
It would be dried bay leaves, like you buy in the jar.
Yeah.
Just buy those up. And we miss things, guys, so you will have to flip it back. I can't read that fast. Do you ever have a rabbit that didn't pull fur for her babies?
No. Never had that.
No.
She's not a good mom, I guess, to get rid of her.
She had babies because I did see it on the Facebook thing. And there's no fur. What would she put in there for them?
Cotton.
Do you have any cotton? Try that.
Okay. Richard Barnes says, now I can answer this one because my mama used to do this. Richard Barnes says, what's the best way to get the salt out of salt pork? It's too salty to eat when Dad did it. Put it in a pot and boil it for about 10 minutes and take it out, slice it up, and then fry it. Then it's edible and it's not too salty. My mama used to do that. That's the only reason I saw that one. That's why I knew I had to answer it. Also, stock up on Kotexes and tampons, Beth said. Yes, tampons make the best wound care for massive cuts or something like that. They're very absorbent. You can pack them into a wound. It's like a bad cut.
I think she's kind of talking about women.
She may be talking about women, but I'm talking about surviving. I mean, this is taught in survival classes. I understand what it's used for. I raised a house full of girls. But tampons make the best wound care for gashes and stuff like that too. And if you're a female going through your menstrual cycles, you need to have that kind of stuff too.
Or you need to learn how to make your own from using like the family cloths. You making them out of
you can make them out of everything. You make them out of cattails from a pond. I mean,
I was talking about the flannel.
Yeah.
There are, if you search YouTube, there's patterns out there And I would advise anybody with small girls to do that because those girls grow up. Just saying.
Yes. Oh, you need
Best
coffee filters and
container for
lots of
seed
sugar.
storage.
You can start a fire with sugar. Okay.
What is the best containers for seed storage? Plastic or metal coated cardboard? Condensation issues.
A lot of condensation issues. If you have a condensation issue, you have a drastic change in temperatures. That's how condensation forms. It's either too warm on one side or too cold on the other side. We just put ours. We put ours in plastic bags. We've never had a problem because we keep them in a dry plastic tote inside the house. We don't have any problem.
Okay, so to pull the salt out of meat or something, if it's too salty, if you add potatoes, the potatoes will absorb the salt and it will. I mean, that's even if you make soups or anything and you get it a little too salty, you can add a couple of more potatoes, it'll take it out.
Yes.
Mason jar lids.
Yes.
The flaps. If you've got jars, they're
the
no
jars
good
are
without
completely useless
flaps.
without the flaps. Yep. We have began to stock up on them. We have as many jars as we need now.
And we are storing the flaps now. Razors. Yes, razors come in handy for all kinds of stuff, more than just shaving.
Let me encourage you to get a straight razor because a straight razor lasts a lifetime. Get you a leather strop and a straight razor and learn how to use it.
So John Henderson says he stores his seeds in vacuum sealed pint or half pint jars. Yes, if you put your seeds in, if you have the jars, put them in and vacuum seal them down. That will save them for many years. Gulf wax, that's another one.
Yes.
If you buy that, it has lots and lots of uses. You can make candles and all this stuff, but jams and jellies can be sealed over with the wax. If you use it when you make it, instead of sealing them with a flat, you can seal it with wax.
There's just like Gria says Dryerland. Dryerland makes one of the best fire starters in the world. Alum is fantastic for clotting up blood. Cayenne pepper is great for clotting up blood. There's
Cayenne will open up your.
Cayenne's also good if you're having heart issues and you think you're having a heart attack. You can get some cayenne pepper in someone. That helps to dilate the blood vessels in the body. I mean, there's so many things. Gosh, I mean, I could go on for hours about this.
Yeah, oldies, true. Well, somebody says stock up on ammo. That's one thing.
That's one thing. Yeah.
People who have no idea how many jars it takes to feed yourself for a year. It
depends on how many people's in the family.
Yeah.
2 of us. We can tell you about us because there's 2 of us. 2 of us take somewhere around, what do we have? Close to 2,000.
Well, I clear out probably anywhere from 2 to 3 jars a day times 365. Just say 2 times 365. That's nearly 1,000 jars. Yeah. And some days it's 3 or 4, according to what we're eating.
Depends on when I empty one out from the mornings. Yeah.
I need at least 1,000 jars for us to get by.
That's just to get by.
We have more than 2,000 jars of food because we want to be able to go into an extra year if need be.
Yeah, because what may happen is, well, you may have a crop failure the next year, and if you've got 2 years worth of it that you harvested this year, and you got enough jars to do 2 years worth in 1 year, and next year you have a crop failure, then you still have that to eat until you get another crop up.
Yes, and somebody's saying you need to have things on paper. Books. Buy
books. Get paperback books. Get
any type of books. And somebody's saying the Bible. Yes, everybody should have their Bible. But you should have any type book. I'm not saying go buy every book out there, but find you a good survival book, find you a good homesteading book, find you some good cookbooks, things like that. You need to know how, even like mechanic books and stuff on cars, how to how to build stuff. One of the best I've seen that's very, they've got newer editions, but the Reader's Digest, what is it called?
I'm
Reader's
sitting here looking at it
Digest.
right yonder on the shelf right yonder.
Go get it. And what's the other one that you got? The big book.
There's several of them here.
Well, Fauch's mother. I can't remember her name.
Country Living.
Country Living. Okay, he's bringing some books. Foraging. Get books for your area. Don't get generic books on foraging and showing you plants, because here in Mississippi, I have a very hard time finding the plants that are in these books here in Mississippi, because our plants don't look exactly
Our plants
like
don't look nothing like those plants.
This is it. Back to basics.
That book right there, now it's not that color anymore. The new ones are green.
Or some color different.
Yeah, made by the Reader's Digest. One of the best books on the market, guys.
That is my #1 pick. Recommend. You can find bread recipes. You can find how to skin a rabbit and cut it up. You can find metalworking, making wedges. What else? How to build a smokehouse. How to do make bow and arrows.
Yeah, all kinds of
traps.
stuff. I mean,
everything's in here.
The other one is Carla Emery.
Emery, that was it.
The Carla Emery, Country Living. This is the encyclopedia. Fauch's mama did this. We've got the 35th anniversary edition here. There's several editions to this, actually.
Yes, newer editions.
Then we also have another one called Down Home Ways by Jerry Mack Johnson. This is a very good book. If you own your own homestead, one of the things you might need, and you probably will need if you don't know or have never done this, is the Basic Butchering of Livestock and Game by John J. Metler, Jr., Department of Veterinary Medicine.
They're saying medical books.
Yeah.
Essential Oils has a book. I have it. I can't remember. It's called Essential Oils, I guess, but it is like the best thing to know your oils. I have the physician's reference. I have prescription for natural healing. These books are a must, or something similar, put it that way. If you're going to be able to handle your own medical issues, you've got to have these books handy. You got to be sure to know. I mean, you need to be reading on them now. You need to be flipping through them, getting used to them now. Don't wait till your child is broke out in hives and then you need to know what to do. You're hunting books, you're looking around. You need to have some kind of working knowledge up here now on some general stuff before accidents happen.
And the Foxfire series books. We've got them in yonder. I don't have every one of them. I have most of them. But the Foxfire series books are very, very good series books to have. They come from the Appalachian people, some of my own people, and I literally love those books.
Sewing supplies. White picket fence is so right.
Yes.
If you are where you can buy material and have some stored up, you need thread, you need needles, you need scissors. All these things are extremely important. If you have a treadle sewing machine, you're blessed.
Yeah, you're one of the blessed ones.
But at least know how to hand sew. Practice hand sewing. I was blessed. My mama was a seamstress. She made all our clothes growing up. She showed me how. I do know how to read a pattern. I have made my kids' clothes. So I do pretty good with that. But not everybody's that blessed. So you do need to know how to. Modern Essentials, yes, that's the book I've got. So you do need to know how to sew and at least be able to patch what you have. It's going to be very important. Fishing line, anything fishing and hunting.
Anything to do with fishing and hunting that's not electronic is a good thing to have. But let me tell you the old adage, the trapper, the man who traps always brings home more food than the man who goes out and hunts with a gun or a bow.
Yarn. If yarn is going to be very important. I do know how to crochet. I don't know how to knit, but I do know how to crochet. That sort of stuff will come in handy. And I have all the needles and all this stuff. I have every size available, just about it.
Let's see here. Tracy said they bought the stuff to be able to make and refill their own bullets. That's very good. If you could store up on a lot of that stuff, that's really good.
Danny we're storing up on, yours is pellets.
Yeah, I use an air rifle. I've actually learned to use an air rifle to kill most of the animals that I have to kill because mine's a very powerful one. And
that's one of their questions. What type of gun? So
well, the favorite gun for the Homestead is just a 22 Ruger. Let me put it that way: the 22 Ruger with a good scope. Now, don't skimp when it comes to a scope. Okay, go ahead and pay the money and get you a good scope because you'll appreciate it in the long run. I used to be a shooter, and I'm telling you, scopes.
But the other thing that you like.
But my other favorite gun is the air rifle. The one I have, they don't make it anymore. Brian from the Lori family tried to purchase one. They just don't make that kind I have anymore. It's fantastic. I mean, I can shoot an animal up to 100 yards and take it right out. It's got interchangeable barrels, 177 or 22 caliber barrels on it. Very good gun. I can get 500 shots in it for about $10, you know, and that's to me that's well worth the money. I can take out rabbits, squirrels, coons, possums, a coyote, you know, anything like that. I need to take out a pig. I mean, I can shoot any of those animals with it, and it really does a good job.
Lamp oil and wicks and extra shades, very important.
Yes.
Candles.
Extra globes, not shades, globes.
Yeah, I bought candles today.
Yes, we bought
because
candles.
I was in the store and they were marked down. Anytime I see candles, I buy candles. Yes, I can make candles, but when you see candles that are dirt cheap, you buy them. If you have the lamp oil, we have lamp oil and we have the extra, what do you call them? Wicks.
Yeah.
But you need to know how to make wicks too. I saw that came up earlier, somebody said.
Sammy, preparing in the city is a lot different than preparing in the country. I don't mean to sound bleak, okay? Understand this, and I'm gonna cover this on the EMP videos and stuff like that. Depending on what type of event happens and where you live will determine your survival. You can store up as much stuff as you want to store up. You can prepare all you want to prepare. But if you're in the wrong location, it doesn't matter what you have prepared up. You're going to lose it, and you're going to lose your life if you don't know how to take care of it. We're going to be talking about some food security here pretty soon. And that's what I said. I don't mean to sound bleak. I mean, y'all want an honest answer from me about surviving something. I'm going to give you honest answers. I'm not going to blow smoke up your tail and tell you something that you just want to hear. I'm going to be honest with you.
Prescription glasses.
What will you do for glasses? For
that's
your eyesight?
That's going.
I mean, that's what I'm telling you, people. There's some things in life that you cannot prepare 100% for. You can go and get several pairs of glasses now while you can. And
but
you can
your
go
eyes change.
But your eyes change. Go to Walmart. They got the different strength glasses for reading. I would suggest pick you out some that, you know,
different sizes,
just different strengths, and just set them to the side in a box or something.
Because they're not expensive.
They're not expensive.
But now my glasses are trifolds, which means there's 3 different things, and they are transition. You don't buy that at Walmart.
No, you don't buy that. And when something happens to those glasses, they're expensive.
And y'all, I can't see the chat. I can't see me and Danny very well. So when these glasses are gone, I'm going to be fumbling through the house. I won't be able to read anything at that point. That's going to be really tough because I can't see anything. So glasses is going to be
a
major issue.
And don't freak out and don't let this thing bother you, because nobody is going to be prepared 100% for whatever happens, because we don't actually know exactly what will happen, and we don't know how it will come about. We can we can prepare to the best of our ability, you know, and let God do the rest.
Handheld magnifying glasses. That's the deal. We do have the magnifying glasses.
You can be used
so,
for anything. You start a fire with them. I mean, you can.
It would help.
It would help if you don't have glasses. Yeah. So, well, as a matter of fact, back in the 1500s,
that's all they used.
That's all they used.
So magnifying glasses. That would simplify that one. Women should learn how to clean and shoot just in case they're alone. Yes.
I agree with that 100%. That's why Wanda and I went and got our advanced concealed carry license. Wanda was able to learn how to shoot to the point where she actually shot
better than you did.
Better than I did. Of course.
Not really.
Now, the bottom line was I clicked all my shells off in about 3 seconds.
And I took my time.
Took her about 5 minutes to shoot hers, but
more.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, good marksmanship means everything.
And some of them are saying maps. If you plan on
bugging out and you need to go somewhere, yeah, you're gonna need a map. But if you are at your bug out location, I'm not too worried about a map. Yeah. And if you live where you're at, you should know the roads anyway. I mean, from here, I can go in a 150, 200 mile radius of me right here. I don't need a map to go anywhere.
Yeah. And guys, we're not saying that anything's even going to happen anytime soon. It's just that it seems like there's certain times that people feel like they need to prep things. And even if something was to happen to Danny or I, like if he got sick or I got sick, at least I have things in my house that if I can't leave for days or weeks at a time, I don't have to worry about running out of something. And that's my biggest #1 prep reason in the world, is because if something happens, we can't leave. It doesn't have to be worldwide. It could just be something that happened to us.
Practical Modern Homesteader says, what is everyone thinking something big is going to happen this year? Or why? I guess why something big is going to happen this year. I'll talk about that on Patreon. I can't go into a lot of that.
No, I mean, yeah, but it's just.
I think I could probably answer that really quick, but I won't.
It's just that all around, everywhere, the whole world seems to be in turmoil.
Let me put it this way: before the government went back and they done a survey on computers right before 9/11, and they found out that the most Googled things in the world. I'm trying to word this right. Before 9/11, they realized there was a high tension where people realized something massive was going to happen, and they had no clue, but yet they felt it, and it was exactly when 9/11 happened. So that's one reason now they're keeping tabs on all the internet stuff and everything going on. And there's a computer program out there that monitors that one very thing right there.
Baker's mom is looking for the link to where the government is telling people to prepare for 6 months.
I have the link, and
do you remember the source?
Oh man, what did I do?
I've heard it for the last couple of 3 weeks. They've been saying.
Remember, I told you I had the link.
I don't remember who.
I don't remember what I did with it, but I have it. I have it stored on a PDF.
Yeah.
It's a PDF file I downloaded. Yeah.
Somebody said, look at Homeland Security. Was it something?
Mine come through a special source. I won't say who or how.
Your health should be your #1 prep item, and go from there. Yes, individual health for you and your family. If you have special needs children with any type of, like even with allergies, whatever, you need to be prepping for that child, for your husband, for you, or wife, whichever.
I will say this: Israel, back in November of this year, passed their first law. I hope I'm getting the dates right on this. That cash in the nation of Israel was no longer going to be legal. Anything over 3,000 American dollars would have to be.
There it is. Okay.
Has to be done through a bank transaction. Cash would not be allowed on anything any larger than $3,000. And they're saying now that America is going to be looking into doing the exact same thing. Now, Israel used a couple of reasons behind that. One being the Palestinians were laundering money through their country for terrorism. They were saying that the government's losing too much revenue, and that's some of the same things. I'm going to go ahead and give y'all some inside information that's saying that some of the same things is happening here in America, that our government is looking at banning certain amounts of cash to be used on certain things. I know some states have already done that. So start looking for that to be coming in the near future.
Okay, a couple of people have put the link up that you can find that on, so
yeah,
that would help.
I did recognize the link once I seen it.
I'm trying to remember, there was some that went through.
Lou's Northern Home, it says it's hard to get extra inhalers due to insurance. doTERRA has some inhalers, don't they? With the oils.
No, you can get inhalers. I bought my inhalers through and she's talking about a different inhaler. I
know,
think,
but for breathing,
for
to
breathing,
open up, for opening up your passages and stuff.
I buy the
but doTERRA sells a stuff to mix, don't they?
Breathe. It's called Breathe.
Yeah.
But you can buy those small inhalers through Amazon. And I don't know if it will be doing the same thing that you're talking about, but you would like to check out the Breathe through doTERRA as a backup.
Georgia Garden Girl, yes, I've heard about the real cards. They were saying by 2020 or 2021 that everybody would have one. You won't need a driver's license anymore. You'll be using that.
Yes, and the LDS preppers, I have the LDS handbook. If you guys have a way to get it, I may have to see if I have a link or how I got it, but I have it online. I mean, on my computer saved.
Yes.
That is one of the best prepping books ever. If you can get the LDS prepper handbook, I don't know what it's called exactly, but that's what I call it. It is awesome.
Grizz has a very good statement there. If they can ban the amount of cash, then they can ban what can happen to gold and silver. And it used to be, y'all may not know this, it used to be illegal in the United States to own gold. And it just hadn't been too long back that they actually legalized that you could actually own gold again. It was illegal to have it in this country.
Activated charcoal and bentonite clay. Yes.
Yes.
That should be added to your preps.
Charcoal is great for the stomach, believe it or not.
Yes. And
Ronnie says that CERN is ramping up activity too. Yeah. Yes, they are. CERN, Switzerland is, matter of fact, a lot of our earthquakes that we're having now, they are blaming on CERN.
Okay, the LDS preparedness handbook is on the LDS site. Go to it, and if you have a way to download it, print it out if you can, put it on a thumb drive, fix it where you will have it, because that is a probably very, very well-rounded book.
Let me say this too. I'm probably gonna get over into my other videos here, but I people are so interested. I hate to not give them some information, but you don't want to have curtains in your house. Let me tell you that. Okay, I know that may upset some people, but I don't really care. You want an honest answer? I'm gonna give you an honest answer. We need blinds put in your house, and I'm not going to go into the details about that. I will explain that on Patreon in one of my videos up there with to do with EMPs and stuff like that. That is in there. Wanda and I have no curtains in our house. We have all blinds, and that is for a specific reason. And we'll talk about that more on Patreon when I get over there. But some people I noticed, cast iron. People are talking about cast iron. You need
any stainless
cast iron.
All that is going to be very helpful.
Yes.
Because if you have to cook outside and cook over an open fire, you want a pot that will last. Your aluminum pot might not last very long over open fire.
Sunset says, what about DE? I'm gonna be honest with you, DE has not really done that much for me and my animals and stuff like that. I've tried to DE my animals, and I still end up having to use some other type of wormer because it just does not do the job.
There's a lot of DE DE out there
That's
now
not
that's
real.
not real.
You've got to get the one that has the, what is it, the silica?
It's got to have the tiny little.
It's the white.
Yeah, it's got to be white.
It's got to be the white.
It's got to come from the shells of tiny insects, and not every bit of the DE is 100% from that. And it might work somewhat. The original DE that I used 20 years ago was great. The stuff we bought lately doesn't work.
Jan, if you still have lead paint on your walls, you're one of the blessed ones, because there is a reason why lead was pulled out of paint. A lot of the technology now, if there's lead paint on your walls, a lot of the technology out there cannot see through the walls in your house if you have lead paint on the walls, and that's why they took the lead out of the paint. That's the behind the scenes reason, so that they could actually view into people's homes.
Window shades.
In the 16th, 17th, 18th centuries, thick curtains were used to help insulate homes in the wintertime. Yes, they were.
I threw blankets over the windows. Same thing.
We used to work hogs by feeding them coal. Yes. You can use DE on the barn floors. I do use DE where my goats bed at and stuff like that in their bedding. I do that. Yes. There is food grade DE. You must use food grade DE. Let's see. Let me see. Mosquito bug repellent. If you live where there is beauty berries, beauty berries, you can take the leaves off of them and rub them on you. That's one of the best bug repellents. You can plant. What is the? It's called a mosquito plant. You can plant that by your house. You know, that works really, really good.
Okay. A lot of them do use DE, and that's okay if it works for you.
It keeps stuff. It doesn't. I've used it to get the lice off of chickens, and that worked really good. To put it up under their feathers, put it in their dusting area and stuff like that. But I also use wood ashes, and it does exactly the same thing. I've used Vaseline on their legs to get rid of the mites off of chicken legs. I mean, there's lots of things. The blinds, you can use them as a radiant barrier. That does work, but that's not the reason behind why I'm talking about them.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So we are getting.
We've went way over our time.
Yeah. Have we covered it?
But I mean, it's okay.
Were you going to mention seeds and gardening, right quick? Because we talked about you can store up your seeds, but without fertilize, and nobody's talking about this.
Penny rolls of herb, yes, Red Duchess, yes. Thank you.
If you do not have fertilize, your seeds are not going to produce like they should. And a lot of people say, well, I will have animals. Well, if you only have 4 or 5 of each animal, they may not produce enough fertilizer for a garden the size you need to plant when that's all you're eating. And then if you're eating your animals,
then your fertilizer goes away.
Your fertilizer goes away.
But you have to have food to feed those animals, and if you own too small of a place, you're not going to be able to raise enough food for you and the animals to be able to have the fertilizer plus keep the animals alive. That's why I tell people never, ever stay below 10 acres if you're going to survive or plan on surviving. I mean, I know that may sound horrible, but guys, you want an honest answer, I'm going to give you an honest answer.
If you're going to raise enough food for your animals, enough food for you and your family,
you've got to think bigger.
And fertilizer is one of them.
Fertilizers. People go, well, if an LCE happens, I'm just going to throw some seeds in the ground and I'm going to start planting. Well, you might do that, and they may do okay for a year or so, but when you deplete that ground and you don't have some kind of fertilizer to put back in it, then fertilizer, you're not going to go to the store and buy it. If you don't have animals, you're just going to be screwed up. Ronnie says, is y'all's patron account named Deep South also? Yes. www.patreon.com/Deep South Homestead. Let's see. Use a self-composting toilet. Well, you can do that, or you use a 5-gallon bucket, whichever way, and some sawdust. They've all worked the same. It's just a simple process. It's just like the old outhouses. You know, you just keep a magazine there or a catalog, you know, for the paper. If you don't have it, and you keep sawdust in a bucket there beside you, and every time you go to the bathroom, you just dump some sawdust on top of it.
And Sunset's right. Compost is going to be the answer.
Yes, compost is going to be the answer. You're going
and
to have to know.
You should be composting now
Yeah.
and have a pile started
because compost doesn't happen overnight.
It takes a while.
It takes a while. We've got a giant compost pile out here in the yard. It's been going for over a year.
So we're pretty much down through our stuff. Once again, don't forget the March 9th gathering. If you want a booth, please let me know at deepsouthgathering@gmail.com. The booths can include, if you're a channel and you just want to have your own booth depicting your channel, that's fine. Or if you want to sell something. The other reason would be to sell.
Yeah.
And then if you want to demonstrate something, you can get a booth. They're $10. Just let me know.
You're going to choke to death on them peanuts.
I know. But I couldn't help it. What else?
Oh.
The booths I really need to know about within the next month.
Yeah,
by
she
the
needs
1st
to know
of
about
February,
that. Yeah.
Because I do have, like, one guy's already let me know he needs electricity. So I need to be planning on, if you need electricity for your booth, I've got to go see where it's at, how many I can put close, and you're going to have extension cords, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And we can't have too many of them that need electricity. So I have to figure out the things with those booths. So I really need to know within the next month before February 1st, if at all possible.
Let's see.
Say February 10th or something, so we can kind of get it back.
ODP, we're going to be doing this topic again on Patreon. I have several videos coming up on that that will deal with a lot deeper than what I'm talking about here.
Yeah. And we're going to start doing a lot of things, just like if we come across something, we're going to start trying to put our videos geared more toward some of them, how to cook your jarred foods. Some of them are going to be more on prepping items. What we do from day to day, obviously, and his barn edition.
Yes, I'm adding on to my barn. We're doing that little by little.
And because they demonetized our chicken video, where Danny simply cut it up into 2 halves.
It was very. Was nothing bad in it. I mean, I just did a video of chopping a chicken and showing how you cut it up. They demonetized it, so we pulled it down, sent it over to Patreon.
And I think people are still seeing it, even though I put it on Patreon. It's unlisted, and I don't know what's going on with that, because people are still obviously finding it and watching it. So I'm not sure about that. So I don't know how to do that, because believe me, YouTube is doing some weird stuff, and we're just trying to figure it out. I've had people ask me about Patreon. I'm trying to figure that out too, guys. So I'm probably not the best person to ask.
Matthew Johnson says, you can pork? Yes, you can. Just like any other meat.
Yes.
It's no different. Just follow the directions for canning beef or anything else, or chicken or anything like that.
Grizz, a Chinese chicken booth is fine. There's no humane society anywhere around.
Nope. Okay. Let's see here. Our Patreon tier is only $3. It costs $3 a month, and you can see all the videos for $3 a month.
Yeah, we don't have anything else.
We don't have anything else. We don't want to charge very much money, but we had to make a little something in order to do it. All the funds from Patreon will go to help us build our cottage, which we are a long way from, but
we'll get there.
We'll get there eventually, and the cottage will be an off-grid cottage on top of that.
Or cabin.
Or cabin. I'm just calling it what you said you wanted to call it.
I've been calling it a candy corn cottage, and he's been calling it a cabin. So we've got to figure out if it's a cabin
or a cottage. Well, if it's a cottage, it's up north. If it's a cabin, it's down south. Okay. But anyway, that's the main. We did Patreon. We have lots of butchering videos going to be over on Patreon. We have some pig butchering ones, hopefully in the future that's going to be coming up on Patreon. But we've got chickens, we've got turkeys. We're going to have some probably have some sausage making over there. We're going to have in the near future. There's just lots of videos over there, and then hey, you get to see into our personal life there.
Occasionally.
Occasionally, we'll show you some things about our
They
personal
already
life.
see everything over here. No, I'm just saying.
They do see most of it over here.
And the videos are continuing here.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best, guys, to keep everything flowing, my life flowing, what we do every day, and not get overwhelmed. So if we miss a day, don't freak out. Just say, okay, she had to chill for a day.
I was just looking at Sinclair. He put up a good one there.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, I don't actually know how many people we actually had watching tonight. I think it was close to 500.
Really?
Yeah. Occasionally I would see it, but but anyway.
Mike asked, would you suggest solar panels to include in prepping?
Solar panels are great, but you've got to have the converters and the inverters to go with it. You've got to understand an EMP. If we was to have an EMP or a solar flare, you have to understand how they work and how they would affect the solar panels and how they would affect your inverters. And we'll talk about that on Patreon, about the 3 phases of an EMP and how they affect different things and how to build a Faraday cage and things like that to protect those things just in case.
But yes, solar is good if you have it.
Solar is good if you've got it.
You just got to know what
you got
to
to
do.
know how to do it. Solar is just as dangerous as electricity. DC will hurt you worse than AC will if you're not careful.
Is Florida a bad place to live?
Probably so.
Probably. Well, places aren't. It's according to whether you're in Miami or something. Solar oven, yes.
Solar ovens, yes.
So, all right, guys, throw your prayer request up.
Yeah, we're fixing to pray. We've got a lot of things we still got to do.
Rocket stoves. Danny and I have
We have a drawing of a rocket stove on our Etsy store and the instructions. We have a video on making the rocket stove, and hopefully in the future we'll be showing how to use a rocket stove.
So if you want the drawing and the plans for making a rocket stove, go to our Etsy store and then go back to Deep South and type in how to build a rocket stove or something like that, and watch how he makes the. I don't know. Did you show? You did not show step by step. It was already together.
No, I think we had a video on step by step building it.
I can't remember.
We only got over 1,000 videos. So
we forget.
I forget.
Don't hold it against us.
Yeah. John Hendrickson says, not Redneck, North Florida by Alabama. I mean, I don't know. Some people from Florida tell me that they don't allow you to buy phosphorus to put around your plants in Florida. I'm not sure because I don't live in Florida. I just know people send me messages and tell me this stuff.
A lot of people have good. I mean, even in Mississippi, you have your good places, your bad places. So I'm sure Florida's just like it.
I'm sure Mississippi's got its problems. I mean, if you live next to the Gulf Coast down here, we're gonna have hurricanes, and you gotta
live close to a neighbor that's got barking.
If you got those aggravating neighbors got barking dogs, you really stay upset. But if you live in just north of us, about 100 miles, you're gonna be in a tornado alley through there. I mean, so it depends on where you live at.
Yes.
Anyway. We have got to pray and get off of here, mainly because we got to get ready to go to bed.
I'm tired.
We're getting tired. It's been a long day. I poured concrete today, so I'm tired.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I pulled weeds out of our. Oh, we didn't even get to our pictures, but that's okay.
You know what? Before we get off, let me do this, guys. Let me just take y'all down memory lane here just a minute.
Memory lane. This is what we have.
This is what we have on our place right here. We were actually going to talk about this tonight. But we didn't get to. Before we get off, I'm going to show you this.
Eating in season.
It's called Eating in Season. This is one of our gardens here. We have collards, broccoli, mustard greens, broadleaf mustard there and stuff. And that particular one, this particular one is one of our broccoli heads. It's just about ready to cut off.
We've got
It's called eating in season. We try to have it here like a permaculture situation where we can walk out the door 365 days a year and find something to eat in the event that we don't have anything to eat. Here is one of our cabbages. It is beginning to start heading up. And right behind it is one that is beginning to head up. Now, these were two different varieties of cabbage. Let me see what we got. Here is our multiplying onions. We have them in the black pots. Let's see here. Yeah, that is the multiplying onions. Yeah, I had to remember where we were at on the homestead there. This is my carrot bed, right?
That is the Danny carrots.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome, guys? Doesn't that look great?
These are the carrots that I have grown. Now, here we're going to see. This is Wanda and Amanda's love garden with the carrots.
Well, the turkeys got in there and ate a lot of them, but they're growing now, and that we do have maybe a third of what Danny has going. Yeah. And go all the way up.
I'm fixing, but we'll get to it in a minute. I know what you're going to be talking about. This is the hands of a woman who works in the dirt.
I got to play in dirt today, guys.
Yes, there's nothing wrong with a woman having dirt on her hands. I'll assure you of that.
For all of y'all that are up north and you are freezing and you're cold, it was warm enough. I played in the dirt today. Yes. Hey, Mapleberry.
Okay, and then we're going to move on up here. This is what Wanda went and picked some chard today to go in a salad. Our chard is doing fantastic here on the homestead. This is some of the stuff that she gathered here. We have some multiplying onions. We have some spinach and some kale. That's red Russian kale, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Let's see here. Get back off of that. We're going to look at another one. This is collards.
That's what we had for supper tonight.
Well, we had collards and cornbread tonight. Some good old Southern food. And, my friends, this is what's called the angry carrots. These were grown by the Lori family homestead, and I want you to show you what the angry carrots turned out to look like that they planted. Now, I planted them professionally. Wanda and Amanda said, no, carrots need love, and we showed you where that got you. But now let me show you.
Well, the turkeys loved our carrots.
Well, let's just not even talk about that. But this is what happens when you plant a garden when you've been angry because the dogs next door are just ticking you off. Look at that, guys.
Isn't that awesome?
The Lori family's carrots, called the Angry Garden, looks fantastic. They done an outstanding job on their garden. And you can see the red Russian kale in the background. It's doing fantastic also. Look, the Loris have had one of the most fantastic gardens around their place this year. They have grown everything. And right now they have close to 700 onions planted over there.
Plus their Mr. Stackies are full of stuff.
Mr. Stackies are full of stuff. I mean, they have got food galore.
They're doing a great job over there.
They're actually being able to eat in season just like us.
And Heidi came over this week and we went around Deep South and she went home with all kinds of stuff that she didn't have. And she's been able to make food from her place and our place that we're eating in season.
Amanda says, anger trumps love. I don't buy that. Well, the proof is in the pudding, sweetheart. I mean, you gotta.
You and I need to get angry.
Yeah.
The angry carrots are just awesome.
They're awesome.
And Danny's are too.
Oh, mine's professionally done. I mean,
yours is supposed to look good.
Mine's going to look good because they were done professionally. But anyway, it's funny. Theirs is like 8 foot from mine, and they claimed the turkeys ate all theirs, and they didn't.
I saw where they had eaten them all.
So
now they're coming back out. So I'm not going to have a full garden, but I'm going to have at least a third of the carrots that you have.
Yeah.
I'm going to have some nice carrots.
Now their garden will actually probably have large carrots because they're not as thick.
And we want to remember Patty and Tommy Alderman, Patty's mom, in our prayers tonight.
Her mom passed away.
She may be in the hospital.
I
haven't checked my email.
Somebody sent something to us and I just
I haven't checked my email, so I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, Amanda says it's peaceful to her to get angry. She can't get angry here, just for her. Okay. Anyway, guys, we got to pray.
Can you use the tops of the carrots? Yes.
Yes, you can actually eat the tops of the carrots. Yes. Your animals will love them too if you don't want to eat them.
And we've had quite a few prayer requests there, Danny.
Yeah, I've been watching the prayer requests through while I was doing the picture. So, Father, we so want to come to you tonight, and we want to start our prayer off right by saying, Father, forgive us where we've all failed you and failed others, Lord. Forgive us of the unconfessed sins in our lives. Give us a clean slate so that as this prayer reaches the throne of heaven, Father, that you might be able to look upon it and you might be able to answer the request that we put out there tonight. Lord, there's been many requests went up tonight about people that are sick. Some had pneumonia, some's had cancer, Lord, I've seen going out through here. A number of different types of illnesses I've seen go through the chat tonight. Father, you are the great physician, and I want to call and ask you at this very moment, the ones that was in this chat tonight, Father, if they have a physical illness, I'm asking you in the name of Christ to heal their bodies and be able to give them rest from the pain and from the problems that they're having with their illnesses, Lord. Give them a rejuvenated body, Lord. As it said in Isaiah, may they mount up wings, Lord, and be able to run and not be weary. Father, I just ask you tonight, there are those that are looking for a homestead. Um, Father, there are those that needs a home. Not only for a homestead, they need a home, Lord. They need their finances. They're having trouble with finances, Lord. There are those that are trying to build their finances, Father. And I pray that you will look down upon this situation. You'll give the ones homesteads that need homesteads, Lord. Those that need financial resources, I pray that before the day is too late, that you will grant that to them and help them to be able to afford the things in life, Lord, that will make life comfortable for them. And Father, I'm going to ask a special request tonight that we may see the desire upon our enemies, Lord. You said in Scripture, and David said, Lord, grant me the desire upon my enemies that I might see it. And Father, many of us have enemies that's come up against us, whether it be the old devil or whether it be someone that's just causing us trouble. Father, may we see our desire upon those people. And Lord, give us power over the enemy, Father. If it comes after us in any way possible, Father, as it says in Psalms 91, may you hide us under the wings like a mother chicken does her babies, Father. And it also speaks about you'll give your angels charge over us, lest at any moment we dash our foot against a stone. They're there to deliver us up. Father, we ask that we can have that in our lives tonight. Lord, there's so many other things that was mentioned here tonight. People have mothers and fathers that are sick, not doing well. Some have lost loved ones through the holidays, Father. Lord, I pray that these people can have healing for their bodies and they can have peace and be able to fill that void spot where loved ones were lost tonight, Lord. Father, just bless their lives. And Lord, we know there's coming calamity in our country. And this chat tonight, this live stream has been about being able to get ready for what's coming. And Father, even though I have a glimpse of what it is, I cannot and will not go on here and actually say what I think because, Lord, everybody will not fit into the same mold. But Father, there are things that we talked about here tonight that can help each and every person to be a little more prepared for what's coming. Father, I ask that you watch over every person that's in this chat tonight. And I pray that if they were in this chat, that when the calamity comes, you will spare them, Father. Give them the financial resources they need to prepare tonight. Lord, give us all a great night's rest that we can rise tomorrow and do the things that you have planned for us. We ask each and every one of these things in thy Son's name. Amen. Okay. Now, where are we at? I'm sure lots of them.
Hospice at home. Patty's mom's on hospice.
Hospice at home. Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So we have got to go. I hadn't cleaned up my kitchen, and
Yep.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything else?
Oh.
Pretty much we've covered.
We gotta find my little mouse here. Here he is.
I mean, there's more things to.
There's
prepping.
tons of more things about prepping, guys. I didn't even scratch the surface.
If you look online, there's list after list. Some of them have the same things, But each one of them has something different, so you can make up your own mind on what you need for your situation.
You're going to find common denominators in every prepping situation, but not every prepping situation is for you. You have to discern and determine what works best for you where you're at. I will say this, if you're in a city, do everything you can to get out, because it's not going to be a good place to be. And I'm not trying to be critical to anyone, and you may say I can't do any better, and if you can't do any better, hey, if that's where God's put you, then ask God to protect you there.
Okay, Matthew, I'll check in a minute. He said he sent a message. Okay, I think we're pretty much caught up. Thank you, moderators. And
yes, thank you,
everyone.
moderators. Thank you, everybody that was in the chat tonight, for being nice. I didn't see any trolls.
Very considerate.
Very considerate. Everybody was very considerate. Everybody was thoughtful of the other person. And that's what makes a good chat.
And if we did not answer your questions, if you want to come back in when this goes up and post it in the comment section.
Yeah.
Danny will try to get to it tomorrow, hopefully. Sometimes he gets up early and
I get up around 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning to try to answer some questions. So.
We've had people say that we missed their questions in chats. Well, our chat flies by, and we're not running it back. We hardly ever try to run it back because it takes time to do that, and it takes away from the thought process.
I do the best I can. I try not to give long answers. I try to give us short and quick answers, and sometimes they sound choppy, sometimes they sound cold, and they're not intended to be that way, but I don't like to just diddle around on long explanations.
And I like to give long explanations.
And Wanda does, and that's a lot of our questions get by. But yeah, give a Wanda if you want a booth at the thing, like she said, and guys, we got to get off of here. We've been on here almost 2 hours now, so.
On the Patreon, they're saying, can we split it? They don't want to care about the animal killing stuff. You don't have to click on those.
Yeah, you don't have to watch those videos.
It's just like anything else.
Just like anything else, like a TV program. You can watch which ones you want.
You pick and choose what you want to click on. I mean, that's the prerogative of it. It's just like YouTube. If you don't like the video for the day, you just don't click on it.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised at how many people do that and then throw a fit at us. And I'm going, okay, I put chicken butchering or chicken processing, and there's something about processing, and then we get chewed out because it's a processing video. And I'm going, okay, you see it in the title. I don't do.
Let me put it to you this way: if an LCE happens and you're not willing to be able to do that, you're going to starve.
Yeah, unless you find enough grass.
I know a lot of people say that I'm cold and I'm hard, but that's the bottom line. It's the honest to God truth. Brian Laurie, my friend next door here, said he could never butcher anything, and right now the man can butcher anything. I mean,
he's good.
he did a fantastic job when we did our chickens. I did all the killing, and he done the vesicrating, and he actually stayed up with me. I mean, and that was a man who had never done anything like that.
A year ago, he did not think he could do it.
A year ago, he didn't think he could do it. Amanda, that's on here. Amanda has actually killed rabbits and chickens and vesicrated them and cut them up and packaged them and everything, and she didn't think she could ever do that.
A year and a half
ago, actually took a gun and killed some animals out here. So hey, it can be done. It can be done.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you later. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Deep South Homestead.